The following excerpt was taken from the Federal Communications website. Telemarketers must ensure that predictive dialers abandon no more than 3% of all calls placed and answered by a person. A call will be considered abandoned if it is not transferred to a live sales agent within 2 seconds of the recipient's greeting. Voicent's new call center manager will automatically track and adjust drop call thresholds and dialing pace to comply with U.S. Federal Trade Commission's telemarketing sales rules on drop calls. This video will demonstrate how a call is dropped, how to set up the drop rate threshold, and how this will prevent future dropped calls. Note that only one agent is logged in, yet 2 calls are scheduled to be made. Now we'll use Agent Dialer to start a campaign. Note that both calls are in progress and 2 lines are being used. Both calls are answered, but 1 call is dropped. The drop rate is now 50% as 1 out of 2 calls were dropped. The gateway is now restarted to clean up the old data. Let's set the drop rate threshold to accommodate the FCC regulations. Select the Manage menu item. Select the Set Drop Rate Threshold menu item. The Set Gateway Drop Rate Threshold window opens. The FCC website requires 3% as the maximum. Note the drop rate limit line now appears in the data graph. With the drop rate set, let's run the same campaign as before. Now Call Center Manager will intelligently decide how many simultaneous calls to make based on the current drop rate, the number of available agents, and statistics specific to the campaign. In this simple demo environment, Call Center Manager decides to use 1 line to call out rather than 2. This avoids a potential 50% drop rate. However, in other situations, Call Center Manager may decide to use both lines to call out depending on various factors mentioned before. Call Center Manager will learn and adjust dialing speed to your current campaign. With the drop rate set, both calls now succeed. This concludes how to set up the drop rate threshold.